Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another perfume review video. My name is Naz. This is my channel, the King of Hidden Gems. I try to bring to your attention fragrances that are usually very good value for money. They smell good, they're usually on the radar, not many people talk about them. I think at least you should do your research time for yourself and see if they're any good to you. So in this video I have another update for you, and this is the brand Perris Monte Carlo. Perris Monte Carlo is a niche brand from Monte Carlo in France, and they've been around for I think about 25 years or so, and they have around 30 to 40 perfumes in their lineup. They are considered to be high-end niche. They retails for £150 for each bottle, which are 100 ml the Parfum. This one in particular called Perris Monte Carlo, and this is Ambre Gris. So with the name Ambergris, you expect good things. Well, for obviously most of you will know Ambergris anyway, but for those who don't know, Ambergris is basically it's a whale vomit or whale poo. There's a debate which one it is, but is one of those, and basically the whale, especially the sperm whale, they deep dive in the ocean and they hunt giant squids, and giant squids basically damages their stomach, and the stomach produces this resins to protect the inside the stomach, and when they either vomit or they put, it floats, and then it comes to the shore, and some lucky people can find it, can detect it, and realize what it is. Because for an average person, when you go to the beach and you see ambergris, you just think it's just another pebble or another stone or another boulder, basically, to you and me. I'm not an expert either. So those lucky people, they find these ambergris, and then they sell it to the people who make perfumes out of it. As far as I know, that's the only basically the only use of ambergris. I'm sure there are other uses, but I can't think of at the moment. So in perfumery, for a very, very long time, I think probably over 1,000 years, they used it in perfumery because it gave the perfumes not only a distinctive smell, which is sea salty, sea, and something in that vein, but it made the perfumes last longer. So it was probably the first if you call it, obviously natural, but synthetic molecule to put in the perfumes to make the perfume last longer. And because it's quite rare and it's quite expensive, the majority of perfume out there, when they mention ambergris, this one is in that category, they mean impression of ambergris. Okay, they mean they mixed up notes and accords to come up with an ambergris impression or ambergris smell or ambergris replica or something in that vein. Okay, so yes, smells a hint of ambergris in here, but obviously it's not natural in here, it's just an impression of it. But overall, this perfume smells wonderful. So in terms of presentation, apart from the box, which is very simple, for £150 perfume, you expect a little bit more, but it doesn't matter. The bottle itself is gorgeous, it's very heavy, the cap is heavy in metal, the atomizer is very, very good. So for that, it's a very, very good presentation in terms of the bottle itself. In terms of the longevity, on my skin went easily over 8 hours. On t-shirt and materials goes easily over 10 hours. So it's a good performer, almost bordering beast mode, but it wasn't a beast mode. In terms of projection, I had an arm length of projection for around 2 hours or so, maybe 2 to 2.5 hours, and after that slowly subside. but you always have a good bubble, a good amount of cloud, and a good amount of trail behind you. So it's a very good performer. In terms of age, I would say this one is 25 and up, to be on the safe side, if not 30 years and older, because the smell is in a way that it's on the classical side, and also it is a little bit on the complex, a little bit on the hint of challenging in here, not too much, a hint of animalicness in here overall. So for that, I would say a little bit mature, I would appreciate this better. In terms of season, this is one of those you can use all year round. You could easily be somebody's signature scent. So you could use it in summer, in winter, no problem. In summer, less sprays, in winter, more spray. I put about 6 sprays of it on me to basically test it, and that was ample enough for me to smell it all day. But if you want to go outside and people smell you from the other side of the road, probably need to go up to 10 sprays of it. So in terms of gender, this is definitely unisex. Anybody can wear it, ladies and men, no problem. And in terms of occasion, this is very opulent. It's very opulent, it's very sensual, it's quite sexy. So it is good for going out, for special occasion, for evening, for formal occasion, for close encounter, for dating, even weddings, something in that category of occasions. And so let's go to the smell itself. The smell smells beautiful, but with a big but. And this is, although I think majority of people will like this, I don't think majority of people could wear it. The reason is because not only it's got a hint of animalicness in here, which is not a big animalicness, but it's a hint of animalicness in here, but it is quite floral, and the floral is mainly rose, and the rose in here is, how shall I put it, it's a middle of the road rose. It's not a Turkish rose, it's not a Bulgarian rose, it's not an Indian rose, it's not a Persian rose, it's not, it's very, very, I've had a very hard time to pinpoint it because I'm a big rose fan myself, and usually I can tell, not all the time, but sometimes I can tell where is that rose maybe originated, because each of the region I mentioned, they have a quite a distinct smell to them in terms of rose. This one looks like it's just a middle of the road, maybe it's a mixture of few rose perfume oils, or it could be something like a French rose or European rose, because although it is quite prominent in here, it's not a big player. It's a medium player, but it is quite distinctive, especially paired with geranium in here, and that enhances the rose even further, making it a little bit green, little bit minty, and also there's a big aspects of spices in here, especially cumin. So you need to like your cumin to enjoy this, because the cumin is very, very apparent, especially after a couple of hours. It becomes stronger and stronger, the cumin, by the time it goes on. Overall, it's quite woody as well, but the woods are here is quite clean. The animalicness is not coming from the woods. The woods are a combination of sandalwood and cedar, which are very clean, but the animalicness is coming from the accord used to emulate ambergris, and also the musk. The combination of these two giving a hint of animalicness overall. So let me read you the ingredients and we take it from there. This is according to Fragrantica. We have Artemisia on top, in the mid we have rose and geranium, and in the base we have amber, labdanum, vanilla, musk, cumin, and sandalwood and cedar. So everything in here I get distinctly. I get some fruity aspect in the beginning, not too much, a hint of fruitiness, which is probably coming from Artemisia in here, and after that it becomes very floral, which is, as I said, big rose plus that geranium to enhance the rose as well. So the rose shines in here from almost the beginning to the end, always rosy. But for me, which I'm a rose lover, perfect. But for especially men, if you are uncomfortable with some floral, especially rose, it could be too much for some men. But as always, Perfumes don't have gender, smell don't have gender, taste don't have gender, colors don't have gender. All these things are just marketing BS. Don't fall for it. If you like a smell, wear it. If you don't like a smell, don't wear it. As simple as that. Anyway, so amber in here, the amber is so well done, and the amber in here is mainly a transparent amber. So it's a transparent, effervescent, very, very airy amber, which adds to the appeal of this perfume. Then I'm giving a hint of smokiness in here, and also the resin feel. This is in the base is quite resinous as well, which is mainly come from the labdanum. The musk, as I said, with the ambergris combination in here, giving a hint of animalicness, but not too much. The animalicness in here is very minimalistic. Okay, cumin is by far the biggest player in terms of the spices. So spices are big in here, especially that cumin. I get some camphorous feel, I get some balsamic feel in here as well, and also I get a little bit of how should I put it, to not go negative, mothball. Okay, hint of mothball in here. I don't know how they managed to do that, but to my nose it gets a little bit mothbally. Not too much, very, very faint, and also in the background, way in the background. But if your nose is sensitive to the smell or accord or whatever it is, the mothballiness, you will detect it in here, but again, very, very tiny amount. Okay, so what happened there? Anyway, so and the woods are very clean in here again, making it very quite woody in the base, which are a combination of cedar and sandalwood. So overall, what I get big amber, which is transparent and very effervescent and airy, plus that ambergris feel to it a little bit. Not too much, but the ambergris in here is hint of saltiness, tiny bit of saltiness, and a tiny bit of aquaticness to it, but not too much again. It's woody in the base, yes, it's a combination of sandalwood and cedar. A little bit powdery, hint of powderiness, hint of smokiness, and hint of dustiness in here as well. It's a little bit aromatic, which is mainly coming from that artemisia, which is giving it a little bit of greenness and also a little bit of that fruity aspect to it. It's quite musky, yes, the muskiness from the beginning to end always there, plus that ambergris or amber accord. But again, they're not too big. They are just ample enough for you to smell it, but they don't ever take over. Hint of balsamicness, and also the rose is by far the biggest player in terms of the florals. Hint of camphorous feel to it, and also a little bit of sweetness, which is coming from the vanilla. The vanilla in here is quite smooth, is mainly smoother rather than the smell of it. So the smell of it is way in the background, but the smoothness of the vanilla is in here, and also giving a hint of sweetness. Again, the sweetness in here is quite moderate. It's not very, very sweet. I would say around 6 to 7 in terms of sweetness, if 10 being the sweetest. And a little bit of fresh spiciness, which is mainly coming from the cumin is quite spicy, and also fresh spicy, little bit of herbal feel to it as well overall. So if you like what I described, this is for a price £150. Is it justifiable? If you do, if you £150 is not too much money for you, yes. If it's £150 you can't afford it, basically you can't afford it. There is an alternative to this, which is